4, 3, 2, 1.
Cue music.
This is Movies First with Alex First.
Political correctness is turned on its head in a light-hearted New Zealand comedy that's set to polarise audiences. 15 years ago, Mel, played by Madeleine Sami, and Jen, Jackie Van Beek, discovered they were being two-timed by the same man. Bitter and cynical, they became fast friends and formed the Breaker-Upperers, a small-time business breaking up couples, one of whom wants out, for cash. Now they're in their late 30s and business is booming. They're a codependent couple who keep their cynicism alive by not getting emotionally involved with anybody else. But when they run into an old victim, Mel develops a conscience, and her friendship with Jen is truly put to the test. Written and directed by the two stars, Van Beek and Sami, they've made a contemporary, female-driven comedy about love, both romantic and platonic, that reflects the multiculturalism in the city in which they live, Auckland. It was Van Beek who chanced upon the idea for the film as she was standing in her kitchen making a cup of coffee. She found herself reflecting on all the conversations she'd had with friends about the challenges of extricating yourself from a relationship that you know isn't right for you. Taking the notion a step further, Van Beek imagined a world in which you could pay someone to do it for you. She then conceived of a service that could do just that.
You're listening to Movies First. For more, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Yes, the Breaker-Upperers is far-fetched. Yes, it pushes the limits. So did The Hangover and Bridesmaids. But I don't for a moment believe it's set out to be deliberately offensive. I can see how some will nevertheless get their noses out of joint, but I, for one, was entertained and engaged. I loved the tag team duo around whom the movie was centred, and the way they readily and steadily bounced off one another. In fact, their distinct personalities were quite infectious, and their quick-fire delivery immediately praiseworthy. Around them too, they've created a series of memorable characters. I say again that the contention here has everything to do with excess and irreverence. It's like piecing together a series of interrelated skits to give you the full picture. And to me, that works, and works well. Underpinning it all is a journey, one of growth and understanding for the two women. If you're up for some laughs and not easily offended, this small-budget film from across the ditch is worthy of consideration. The Breaker-Upperers scores a 6.5 to 7 out of 10.
You've been listening to Movies First with Alex First. Subscribe to the full podcast at Audioboom, Stitcher and iTunes, or your favourite podcast distributor. This has been another quality podcast production from Bytes.com.